action.
Hi, everybody. It's Emily Ross, LPC. Don't forget to hit subscribe and your notifications so you get all this free mental health content. So, tomorrow is the 18th, and that is International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. So, if you know me well, you know that I've been significantly impacted by suicide throughout my life. Honestly, it's the leading cause of death in my family. Suicide is. It's really sad. I usually say it as depression's the leading cause of death in my family, but most of you know that my mom completed suicide in 2012, and I wanted to share, really in honor of the Survivors Day, I wanted to share how that journey has been to me. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I was when she took her life, and so it really hit me hard. I think partly because of that allowed me to have a lot of grief around being a therapist and not saving my mom. That was the narrative I was telling myself. There are lots of resources for people who have lost somebody from a suicide. It's a different kind of grief, and I think it's really difficult to understand how convoluted and complex it becomes if you've never had that experience yourself. And so it's really important to connect to other people who have a shared lived experience that way. But it's also really hard to do that. I signed up for the Out of the Darkness Walk. If you don't know what that is, it's the American Foundation for Suicide. They have a walk where survivors come together, or people who have struggled with suicidal ideation, maybe have had an attempt. It's where they come together and share some time and cry together, hopefully laugh a little bit together, but bond over that shared experience. And it's a really affirming, sometimes sad day that we get to honor the people who we've lost. And I knew it was a good idea for me to get involved in something like that, and it took me a long time to be able to do it. I think the first 2 years I signed up for the walk, the day it came, I couldn't go. I wasn't ready, is really just the truth. In my grief, I wasn't ready. I think she had probably passed 5 years before I actually did go to a walk, and once I did, I quickly became a team captain, and I've had a team now for the past 5 years. Last year was the 10-year, I don't want to say anniversary, it was the 10-year marker of her having taken her life. And so I really tried hard to have a big team and to raise the most money, and I really tried to keep myself wrapped in that, around the people who understood, to help me heal that big kind of anniversary for me. So I'm a team captain again this year, and I wanted to really do it a little bit different. I wanted to really invite people in who have lost somebody to suicide and would like to walk for them and memorialize them. And I would like to change the Inspiration team page to really honor other individuals who have also been impacted by this. And so if you're wanting to participate in that, I would love for you to send me a message, or you can comment and I'll find you on social media. But if you are somebody who has been impacted personally by a completed suicide of somebody who you love, please know that you are absolutely not alone, that there's many of us who have lost somebody, and many of us who struggle with suicidal ideation. One thing that usually surprises people in my private practice is when they've lost somebody by suicide, I always tell them, you are now at increased risk. And sometimes that confuses people because they're hurting so much and they're like, I'd never do that. But it does increase our risk. The statistics are the statistics, right? And my family is a testament to that. You'd think after losing one person, nobody else would do it because we see how much it hurts, but it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And if you know me at all, or you've listened to any of my videos, you know I feel like a big part of the solution is being able to have conversations about it. And I tell people that in my private practice, I tell people that whenever I have an opportunity, is that there's like 3 million or 7 million, some huge number of people who think about suicide every single day, like in passing, like, oh, I really, if I was dead, I wouldn't be feeling these intense emotions, or if I was dead, I wouldn't have to worry about finances, or those are called passive suicidal thoughts. And many of us, including me, have those from time to time. They happen, they come, and hopefully they go. They aren't going to go away if you keep them a secret, because what happens is humans are just not made to keep secrets. So when you have that thought and you add guilt and shame and all these things to it, and you keep it a secret, it becomes caustic and it roots up in you and it gets bigger and bigger. It's like any other emotion. If you try to stuff it or ignore it, it gets bigger. It wants you to acknowledge it's there. And so if you can have conversations about it, like I can say, hey, Matthew, I'm feeling really dark today. That's the euphemism I use for it. Hey, I'm feeling really dark today. And he doesn't freak out and panic, and he's like, okay, tell me about it. What happened? And he just holds space for me. He just listens. He lets me vent. And usually it doesn't just poof go away, but it does go away because I don't carry it, right? Because I can have conversations about it. And so a challenge that I want to give to you today and tomorrow is to have a conversation about suicide. I know it's a big, bad, scary word, but just have a conversation about it. Just ask, hey, have you ever had dark thoughts? Have you ever had suicidal thoughts? Have you ever struggled with that? Try to have a conversation with somebody about it, because if we're all doing that all the time, all of a sudden it's not going to be this big bad scary monster under the bed. It's going to be something that we talk about, and when we talk about it, we can show up and support each other about it, and then we'll know we're not alone, and we'll know that there's people who want to help us, right? Especially on my Facebook page. If you're not on my Facebook page, get on there. If you need support, ask for it. If you're in a place to give support, give it. We can build a community where it's safe to talk about mental health struggles, and I want you to be part of it. So again, if you want to join Team Inspiration, it doesn't matter if you live across the world, you can donate or share or however. I love to be top team just because I'm competitive, but the AFSP does a lot of important advocacy and awareness efforts that I like to support. So please consider joining and walking with me if you live locally, and if there's a loved one that you would like to honor who you have lost from suicide, I would really be I'd be honored to include them in this year's walk. So please let me know. And here, don't give up. Those are my signs of strength. I love those. Don't forget to subscribe. If there's something you want to hear about, please let me know. And hit the notifications so you don't miss any of this mental health content. See you next time. Matthew, come dance. It's the end.
You can stop asking that.
Matthew, come dance. Matthew, come dance.